first page has to embarrass you, and by gosh, it did. I was so close to giving up the Instagram last year. I never aim for a post to go viral because a lot more often than not, you get a lot of backlash. That whatever you do, the algorithm is going to change tomorrow or it's going to change next week. People come to you for what you deliver. So it's not really an algorithm problem, it could be a content problem. And that's just kind of a reflection on maybe you've got to just go back to the drawing board and see, right, what is it I want to write about? What is it I want to be known for? What content worked in the past? Maybe I ask my audience, what do they want from me?
And I think there's this thing around virality that I think everyone likes the idea of a post going semi-viral, but the experience we've had, we put a couple of posts onto TikTok and Instagram that ended up with millions and millions and millions of views. We gained a load of followers, but they weren't really our sort of desired audience. They weren't necessarily marketers. Have you had a similar experience?
I never aim for a post to go viral because a lot more often than not, you get a lot of backlash as opposed to just keeping it small within your community as well. I think it's great when a post does because it then amplifies your reach. But then I think if every single post was to go viral, I don't really think you're building a community. And I
Yeah.
think that's what's much more important. And it's like what they say, where if you only have a hundred followers, but then if you were to go speak into a room of 100 people, it's really good. It puts it into a lot more perspective as well.
Definitely.
So yeah, I definitely with all my posts, I never have the mindset of I hope this goes viral because I like to just post and engage and grow the community that way. But I guess on the other side of things, it is great when something does go viral because you then also can gain more audience. Like another example, we recently got mentioned in an Australian podcast. And off the back of them mentioning because of marketing, we grew over 100,000 followers on our Instagram, 30,000 on our TikTok. And that's
Wow.
from that point of view, that's incredible. And we got a really positive reaction. But then when you have that virality, you have to then engage them. You have to
Yeah.
then, right, you've just gained these new people. You have to then say who you are, what you do. A lot of them could then just fall off. They could follow you and then just unfollow you very quickly as well. In terms of metrics, too, if you have a really high month, your next month is in a dip, and then you have to try and bring that back up as well. So I really do think, and the way because of marketing's grown has always been slow and steady. You grow much better and much stronger by staying lean and in your lane as well.
How important is both building that email list and also does it feed back? Is it a loop where the email grows the social account and the social account feeds the email? Is that how you do it?
Yeah, I think definitely growing a mailing list right from the very beginning, especially again if you're building a team or if you're starting a business. I think just owning that data for if social media was to go down, which has happened in the past, you can still talk to your audience as well. We get such a good open rate with our mailing list, and what we've started to do is have a welcome flow as well. So as soon as you sign up to Because of Marketing's email, you're then entered into the welcome flow. So within the first trigger of signing up, you get a lovely welcome to Because of Marketing, you get our story, and it just makes it feel a little more kind of human connection right from the very beginning. So your first touch point with Because of Marketing is you're getting to know who we are, what we do, our story, and then also where you can follow us as well. So it's kind of, I think it's on the second email, we then break down like this is what you should expect from our newsletter. This is what we do on Instagram, on TikTok. Not expecting you to follow us everywhere. If you do, thank you very much. But if you say, for example, you prefer like written copy as opposed to videos, then you can follow us on our LinkedIn or receive our newsletter. But definitely growing a mailing list. It's something very honestly, I still am working on doing as well, which is why anytime we do a post or anytime you receive an email from myself, we do push out, sign up to our weekly marketing newsletter as well, because you can also say so much in a newsletter that you also can't say on LinkedIn or in
Yeah.
a TikTok as well. And we recently moved over to Substack, and that's just a breath of fresh air. If anyone's experienced Substack, it's just incredible. So yeah, that's helped us so much as well.
How do you approach sort of organizing your content that you
Mhm.
create?
So I'll split it up into different categories to try and give value to everybody. But for example, on my personal LinkedIn, I kind of split it up into my story, like my career. So going from a marketing graduate to then when I lived in Dubai, to then starting because of marketing. And then more recently on a personal level, I do a lot of work for dementia and Alzheimer's Scotland and Lewy body dementia as well. So I split it up between that and then also talking about marketing campaigns as well. So the reason I do that is so that in the hope that if I'm talking about because of marketing, that I'm the founder and I'm sharing updates from the founder point of view and also just sharing my story. And there's one quote that I absolutely love, and I've written it down so I don't muck it up or anything, but it's from Steve Jobs, and he says the most powerful person is the storyteller. And I absolutely love this because I think a lot of your content is down to your story. So whether it's a LinkedIn post and you're just doing copy, it's a 15-second reel, it's a visual piece of content, what's the story in every single part of that? And I think that's what I try and base a lot of my content on is like, what's the story I'm trying to tell you? Value that I hope you gain. So my LinkedIn, it is my story, marketing campaigns that I love and the strategy behind them because that just comes from pure passion. I love to writing about that. And also the voluntary charity work that I do as well, because as I've grown my following, I'm also wanting to educate and kind of that following to highlight and spread the word in terms of because of marketing's LinkedIn post a lot of campaigns, but our LinkedIn's a little bit of a crossover, but also different to our Instagram. But with our LinkedIn, it's a lot of real-time things that are happening. So, for example, a campaign's just went live, or when we get a press release or emails a few days early, that's ready to go. It's lifted, or if a billboards came up, or that gets posted very quickly. So, an example, Cadbury, they just released those new chocolate bars that it was like into like a third and then a half and a half. So
Right.
you know, one who takes up most of the bed or the one who paid for the holiday, that one. I get in the car and I go to Asda and I'm literally shuffling around the aisles. And then I'll take a picture of that and then I'll post it straight onto LinkedIn because that's what really works on LinkedIn. But I wouldn't do something like that on our Instagram. Our Instagram's a lot slower. And it's something that I've really learned a lot with. So at the very beginning, our Instagram, it was me just kind of quite a lot. And I just wasn't seeing a return my time. And I was so close to giving up the Instagram last year. And it wasn't until, and I wrote about this on my LinkedIn, I got an email, a student called Kate, who's now my freelance brand assistant, and she offered help to grow the Instagram. And I think when it gets to that point, you kind of take a step back and you have, as a founder, you have the vision of where you want something to go, but it's so hard to execute it when you just feel like you're not getting it. I had a really good chat with her and we spoke about the strategy and we basically slowed things down. We did a lot of testing at the beginning of this year. And in January, we came up with what campaigns happened this week. And that's what we've been doing every single Friday. We have a roundup post. So as opposed to posting daily, it's a kind of every Friday campaigns that happened this week. And
Right.
now we're halfway into the year and people expect this from us now. It's like when you've got your favorite TV show on a Friday, people are coming to this on that day. We're getting brands asking us to be featured in this roundup. On average, we gain about 1,000 saves and 200,000 views. So I think it's
Wow.
really kind of looking at the different strategies between our Instagram, our LinkedIn, And even on our TikTok as well, I think a lot of it is just really getting to know your audience at the end of the day and taking the risk. An example was when we had the Super Bowl, and I couldn't, for one person managing three social media accounts, I couldn't provide coverage across all the channels. So I kind of just took an instinct and I took the risk and I focused on TikTok primarily because I think with the algorithm on TikTok, with the keyword searches on TikTok, it also coincides with Google. So if you were to type in Super Bowl campaign, then hopefully because of marketing would come up. So when it was the Super Bowl, I was up till 4 a.m. by myself, sharing all the different campaigns, ads, providing coverage. We completely left the Instagram until the next again day or the day after. But that's what worked well for us. And we gained over 5 million organic views on the TikTok
Wow.
as well. And I think really with content, you've got to look at each platform and see every piece of content starts a conversation. And you've just got to kind of audience and understand what conversation is it that you're looking to start with the pieces of content you're providing on that social channel as well.